It's what happens when one of my kids wakes me up about 30 minutes earlier than I normally wake up. This is what you get, so I hope you enjoy it.
Good morning and welcome to Hashtag Rise and Grind. I am your host, Glenn Lundy. I am a husband to one, a father to seven, and the creator of what is going to be the #1 most watched morning show in the world. It is 5:30 a.m. and I hope that you are ready to rise and grind.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you, my friend? How are you, my friend? Today is, what day of the week? Tuesday, November 5th, 2019. That's right. Today is Tuesday, November 5th, 2019. And what's crazy is today is the very first, and I mean the very first and very last time it will ever be Tuesday, November 5th, 2019. So I want to make sure we make the absolute most of this absolutely incredible day. I've got a special episode of Hashtag Rise and Grind for you today. Meredith came into the bed and she woke me up at 3:20 this morning, which is about a half hour earlier than I normally wake up. So since I was up at 3:20, I did not have an opportunity to go back to sleep. That would have been bad. That would have messed up my sleep cycles. So I was like, nope, not doing it. So what ended up happening is you guys got an extra 30, I shouldn't say you guys, who am I talking to? You got an extra 30 minutes of prep for today's episode of Hashtag Rise and Grind. So I've made a special one specifically for you today. I hope you and I can get eye to eye. It's truly going to resonate, make a difference in your life. It's going to be incredible. Today is a very special day because a year ago today, my life completely changed. A year ago today, Oakland, my 7th child, was born right here in Lexington, Kentucky. And what's crazy is this young lady, this little girl that is officially 1 year old today. This girl stinking loves me. Can you believe that? This little girl absolutely loves me. Now, I know most of you are probably like, well, of course, it's your child. Of course, your child loves you. However, the reality of the situation is prior to Miss Oakland, who oh my gosh, I could just eat her up. But the truth was that I believed before Oakland, I truly believed that as a father, it was impossible to connect with a child like under 2 years old. In my situation, let me clarify. And the reason that I believed it was impossible for a father to connect with a child under 2 years old is because my wife breastfeeds, so I didn't have an opportunity to feed the child. Also, kids that age, they can't talk back. And there's something about me as a man, I just don't really talk to things that don't talk back to me. Unless I'm doing a Facebook Live, which is strange. Then I sit here and talk to myself all the time. But I don't talk to the littles that can't really talk back. Like you'll hear mom in there just having this full-on conversation and just keeping it going. But I need some response. I need some type of connectivity. I need some type of action. We need to be able to throw a ball, or I got to be able to tickle you or flip you, or we got to wrestle or something, right? So I truly believed in my mind that a father couldn't really connect with a child until they were past 2 years old. Up till that point, they belonged to mama. But Oakland has shown me different. You see, Oakland and I are connected on a massive level. I love this little girl and she loves me. And the truth was, it wasn't that we as fathers couldn't connect with a child before 2 years old. It was that I personally couldn't connect with the child under 2 years old. I hadn't been able to do it in the past with my experiences. I was in a career. My career was a priority. My career is what took precedence over everything. And my career was a 70 to 80 hour a week away from the house career. And so ultimately the connection I was not able to make with the child was because connection is a two-way street. It's a two-way street. Can't just expect someone to be connected to you unless you're willing to pour into them. And so here's the crazy part of this whole thing is I truly believed, I had 100% rationalized in my mind that it was impossible for me to connect with a child under 2. I truly 100% believe that. I'm not even joking. I know it sounds crazy, but I had rationalized it in my mind. I had made the excuses of why it was impossible. I believed a lie. I believed it for a very long time. Recently, I've been reading this book by Simon Sinek. I've been reading this book called The Infinite Game. And in this book, Simon Sinek talks about when a company knows that it's doing something wrong, and yet it justifies it so often and for so long that it becomes right. They begin to tell themselves this lie that it's right. They call it ethical fading. Ethical fading, where we start to make the justifications for doing the wrong thing over time, converting it in our mind to where we now believe that it's right. We rationalize it. We make sense of that. And so I guess my question is this morning, when is that exact moment? When do we, at what point does a rational mind turn lies into the truth? Have you ever fallen victim to that before? Are you a victim now? I want to talk more about that today. But before we do, you know what we got to do? We got to do some dancing, Mo. We got to get this going. Let's go. For those of you that know, those of you that don't know, this is the part of the show where I need you to hit that share button. That's right. I need you to hit that share button. Listen, we had 118 people in here on a Monday. Today it's Tuesday. People are already sleeping in. So hit that share button. This is also the part of the show where I need you to say good morning to me, and I'm going to say good morning to you. Whether you're watching live or you're watching on replay, say what's up. I'll say what's up back. How you doing, Brad Smith, Jennifer Jaskell, Travis Flaherty, Janelle Griego? What's up, Jeremy Noling, 800% Club kickoff today. What's up, Whitney Wells, Scott Holbert, John Coltonborn? How you doing, Terry LaPierre? Nathaniel Banks is in the house. Of course, we've got Neil Amaral, Eric Willeroy, Jean-Paul Guidry. How you doing, Liza Myers-Borges? Scott Simons, Talal Malik. Are you guys both in here? That's awesome. What's up, Rick Tamburino? How you doing, Whitney Wells? Oh, yeah, there is Talal. That's my man. What's up, Terry Collins, Denny Rust, Catherine Kegley's up in here, Pam Biddle, Paul Black, Bill Schomburg, Jeff Baker, my man Josh Melvin Rodriguez, Heather Brown, Kurt Cahill, Joanna Hamilton, JJ Bain is up in here this morning. Jean Paul, 800%. What's up, David Kuykendall? Did I say that right? I think I did. What's up, Allison Musante, Don Sankey? Everybody's up in here on hashtag Rise and Grind. Listen, I don't know about you, but I've been all up in my planner lately. My Rise and Grind planner, it just took on a whole new level of meaning over the last, the last 6 weeks. I've just really been diving into it. I've really been using it every day, deeper than I had before. Maybe it's because we're building the new one, and so I'm focused on the planner. I'm not sure. But I found, here in my office, I found 8 of these. I found 8 of the 2019 planners. They're sitting in a box. I've got them left. And so I was thinking I'll give those away over the next couple of days so you can get a kickstart. So you don't have to wait. If you didn't get a planner in 2018, or 2019, instead of like waiting. Obviously you're going to need one for 2020, but don't wait. Like today's November 5th, you still have 2 months. I could have one of these on your doorstep in the next couple days. So do me a favor, if you never got a Rise and Grind planner, you just weren't able to get one for whatever reason, will you just type, you don't even, if you want to do it anonymously, just send me a message and I'll send you one of these. Or you can put it in the comments like, planner, bro, yeah, I could use it. And then I'll connect with you and I'll send you one, because I've got 8 left and I want you to be able to make that transformation in your life right now. I don't want you to wait. Fair enough? Okay, cool. Listen, we are on the dawn of a revolution. More and more people are starting to realize that they were sold a lie. For real. Like if you look around, you'll notice that businesses are starting to restructure, right? This is the Google headquarters right here. Obviously, I'm sure you've heard about it, or you can look it up if you have not, but they've got nesting pods and all kinds of different things. But businesses are starting to restructure because they're starting to understand that we were sold this lie that people would thrive and work best if they were all sat in cubicles from 9 to 5, and that 401ks and health benefits were the only way to really motivate or inspire people to do more. And businesses are starting to see that that's not true. That's a lie. That is an ethical fading, where we came to believe, even though initially we knew that that wasn't what was right for us, we began to accept it. We shifted it into our minds to think, well, that's okay. It's okay to be miserable at work. It's okay to not like our jobs. It's okay, when in reality, that's a lie that has been sold to us. And businesses are starting to see that. I spend a lot of time with business owners all around the United States, and it's starting to transition, which I love. We're in the middle of a revolution. Families are starting to look different. No audio or video. That Paul, you're going to have to go out and go back in, buddy. Everybody else is good. Families are looking different than they used to look, right? If you just go back, you don't even have to go back that far. You go back 40, 50 years, you'll notice that the blended families didn't really exist back then. And there's people that are, there's white couples that adopt African-American couples, and just African-American kids, and African-American couples adopted white kids. And there's just a lot of blending going on. And families overall are looking a lot different today than they used to. Add in modern technology and things like that, and even our family dynamics look completely different. You got a kid on an iPad, you got a kid on a Nintendo Switch, you got people watching screens. We got times that we connect, times that we don't. Like, I'm not saying it's good or it's bad. I'm just saying clearly families today look different than they used to. If you also go back in time a little bit, you'll notice that what used to be cool is no more, right? What used to be cool is no more. It used to be cool to like smoke cigarettes and leather bomber jackets. And I apologize if you still dress like this. I mean, zero offense. You might still be super cool looking and dressing like that. That might work for you. But overall, as a society, what used to be cool is no more. And what used to not be cool is now the trend. You notice that? Like, it used to not be cool to be a nerd, right? Being a nerd was not the cool thing. Nobody wanted to be a nerd, but nowadays it's the coolest thing in the world, man. Bill Gates, like one of the richest guys on the planet, has made being a nerd cool. Being into software, being into programming, being into computers, all of that stuff, understanding data has become cool. So clearly we are living in the midst of a revolution, right? Like an evolution of all of mankind. Like, technology has put us at a point where we're more connected as people. We're connected more than ever before. And yet, for some reason, people are feeling less connected. Suicide rates are at an all-time high. The connections face-to-face between people have dropped to an all-time low. But when you look at all of these things together, it's like the clear marks. These are the clear marks of a historic evolution. A historic evolution in a step for mankind. The likes of which have already changed the world forever, right? You can see it. You can actually see the technology coming together. Cities are being built. Industries are being changed. We are on the verge of a revolution. I stinking love it, by the way. Now, there's only two things that happen when a species takes a huge leap like this, right? Some people, through this evolution and revolution, some people are going to evolve and they are going to thrive at the highest level, right? They're going to evolve, they're going to thrive. Life is going to be amazing. On the other side, there's only two things that happen during a evolution. Some people thrive and others will become extinct. So my question to you this morning is, which one will you be? Are you going to embrace this evolution of mankind, this revolution that's going on as a whole, as a species? Are you going to embrace it and evolve and thrive? Or are you going to hold on to what was and become extinct? My dear friend, Sean Hayes, 12 years ago, Sean Hayes was surviving. He was surviving, and he was a salesperson at a car dealership, and he had been comfortable in that position for 11 years. That's what he did. He was fairly successful at it. And he absolutely refused to get on Facebook. He was like, I'm not going to do it. I'm not getting into Facebook. I'm cool right here where I'm at. This is where I'm comfortable. This is what I do. My life is good. I don't need to evolve. I don't need to get different. I don't need to change. That's where he was. And then all of a sudden, something clicked. He started to see that we were on the dawn of something new. And he decided that he wanted to thrive before he became extinct. And so Sean made a decision to jump into Facebook, to learn, to understand Facebook. He made this decision, and he also made a decision to commit to bettering himself, to learning more, to leveling up, to going from salesperson to manager. He set this vision and this dream of one day being an owner in the auto industry, and he chose to evolve, to join the revolution. And fast forward 3 years, and my man Sean Hayes, just a couple days ago, started his new job with Liza Myers Borges and the Carter Myers automotive team out there in Virginia. Now think about that. This was 3 years from decision. He decided to evolve and get with the program. He decided that he was going to thrive and not just survive. And 3 years after making that decision and putting in the work, the energy, and the effort that it takes, that evolution takes, learning the things that he needed to learn, he now has a new home in Virginia. He has new connections all around the world. He has a completely new lease on life. The trajectory of his life has completely changed. He has this new opportunity to become an owner of a dealership. By this time next year, if all goes well, if he fulfills his end of the bargain, he has an opportunity to be an owner of a dealership. Sean Hayes rid himself of the lies that he was telling himself, the ethical fading he had done for himself, where he allowed himself to be less than. He rid himself of the lies and he dove into the truth. And the truth for Sean Hayes, and the truth for you, and the truth for me is that you, my friend, and Sean and myself, we are children of God, the God of the universe, the God that made everything. He made us to be the absolute best versions of ourselves that we could possibly be. And he gave us not only the ability, but also the responsibility to do so. Best version, not average, not below average, not a little above average, but the absolute best version of yourself that you can possibly be. Sean Hayes, my man, is living that out right now. My friend Tom Benson, he was the owner of the New Orleans Saints up until he passed away last year. His wife is now the owner. Tom Benson, when I was in a conversation with him, he told me that when he was young and he was getting started in business, he actually started in the automotive industry as well. Shocker, go figure that. But what Tom Benson told me when he was young is that he got tired of not being able to sell cars to people that maybe didn't have collateral, people that necessarily didn't have like good credit standing. He got tired. He was in New Orleans, and there's a population out there in New Orleans. There's a lower income population in some areas, and there's a creditly challenged population. And he was upset that those people couldn't get cars. He would try to get them a loan, and the bank would say no. And so Tom told me that he made a choice. Tom just decided, you know what? He said, you know what, Glenn? He said, I just decided that I'm going to be the bank. If the bank won't loan my friends money, if the bank won't give my customers money, then I'm going to become the bank. I'll give them the money that they need. So he made a choice. And he built a bank, and he built an empire through the banking world. He was able to build massive wealth, and ultimately he went on to buy the New Orleans Saints franchise. The city actually came to him. He told me this story. The city came to him because they were getting ready to sell the team. They were going to move the team out of New Orleans to somewhere else unless someone like Tom Benson stepped in and bought the team. And Tom Benson was like, there is no way I will fail this community. There is no way I'm going to let New Orleans fall apart. He knew how important the New Orleans Saints were to that community, and so he bought the team. And once he bought the team, one of the first things that he did at the Mercedes Superdome, which I've been to, one of the first things that he did is he built a church in the stadium. He built a church in the stadium. You see, Tom Benson had stopped listening to the rational lies, and he started to dive into the truth. And the truth for him, and the truth for me, and the truth for you is that we are children of God, uniquely made by the God of the universe to be the absolute best versions of ourselves that we can possibly be. You see, Tom Benson, that decision that he made ultimately led to this experience that I got to have with my son, where I got to bring him to the game, and he got to be on the field, and he got to meet the players and was dressed up in his suit, and we created lifelong memories because my friend Tom Benson chose to evolve, not to dissolve. So my question for you today is, which one will you be? Are you prepared to evolve into the absolute best version of yourself that you can possibly be? Or are you going to dissolve and become extinct? Those are the only two options when we're in a time period like we are today. We're in the middle of this revolution. It's an evolution for mankind. It's a revolutionary time. Are you going to move and evolve with the time? Or are you going to become extinct? Will you keep telling yourself the lies? And in a sense, ethically fading out of existence? Or are you going to join the revolution, evolve, and become the absolute best version that you can possibly be?
When I ask you how many have big goals and dreams, what's some personal goal that you have for someone that you love? The things that the heart can understand and feel, that the mind cannot relate to. Whenever there's an argument between your heart and your mind, follow your heart.
What you focus on, you feel. What you feel, you are moved to somehow actuate.
It's not what happens that determines the major part of your future. He said the key is what you do about it.
What is your motive for action? What is it that drives you in your life today, not 10 years ago, or are you running the same pattern? Change is never a matter of ability. It's always a matter of motivation.
If you will start that process of change, do something different the next 90 days than you did the last 90 days. Do something different like the new health disciplines, relationship with your family, whatever it is, doesn't matter how small it is. If you'll start doing different things with the same circumstances, since we cannot change the circumstances, but we can change ourselves. We can change what we do. To have more, you simply have to become more. Learn to work harder on yourself than you do on your job. Don't wish it was easier, wish you were better. Don't wish for less problems, wish for more skills.
If you do what is easy, complain about your situation, your circumstances. If you do what is easy, stand around and be a volunteer victim like everybody else. If you do what is easy, surrender and give up on your dreams, become depressed and bitter and angry. It's much easier to complain about the economy. It's much easier to talk about the recession. That's much easier to come up with excuses. Things may happen around you and things may happen to you, but the only things that really count are the things that happen in you.
You don't let the fear take you over if you've got strong enough reasons.
There's something in you that says that you're not sitting back waiting to see what politicians will do for you. There's something in you that says, I'm not going to focus on the general economy, I'm going to focus on my personal economy. There's something in you that says the most dependable hand in the world is the one at the end of your wrist. There's something in you that says always strive to get on top in life because it's the bottom that's overcrowded. The people that will make it in this life, they look around for the circumstances that they want, and if they can't find them, they create them.
If you identify yourself in a new way and you own that every day, and that becomes the standard of how you live, you'll find the way to make that standard real.
You have the ability to do more than you can ever begin to imagine. You have something special. You are uncommon. One great American said, I choose not to be a common man. It's my right to be uncommon if I can. I seek opportunity, not security. I don't wish to be a kept citizen, humbled and dulled by having the state look after me. I want to take the calculated risk, to dream and to build, to fail and to succeed. I prefer the challenges of life to the guaranteed existence. All of us are self-made, but only the successful will admit it. You have a strong sense of self, that gives your life a sense of purpose. Your life has a sense of purpose, that gives your life a sense of direction. You're saying yes for a bigger life. You're saying yes, I'm tired of playing small. You're saying yes, I'm ready to be empowered to snatch victory from the jaws of defeat. There's something that's in you that says I'm not mentally fit to work for somebody for the rest of my life.
You don't just get a result without some kind of action, without some form of ritual. Ritual meaning actions you do consistently. We live who we believe we are, because that's when the real you shows up. That's when the energy comes alive.
The question is no longer, is it possible for you to have all your dreams become a reality in your lifetime? Because it's not about potential. You got a lot of it. The question is, have you made the decision?
Don't try to change the seed. Don't change the soil. Don't change the sunshine. Don't change the mix of seasons. Let the miracle of everything that's available work for you, and start working on the inside. Work on your philosophy. Work on your attitude. Work on your personality. Work on your language. Work on the gift of communication. Work on all of your abilities. And if you'll start making those personal changes, I'm telling you, everything will change for you.
When you're willing to say yes, when you're willing to move forward. You said to yourself, I'm willing for people to laugh at me. You said to yourself, I'm willing to gut this out. You said to yourself, I'm willing to make this happen. You said to yourself, I'm going to do whatever it takes to build this business. I can do it. If anybody's ever done it at any point in time in history, then what's possible for one, it's possible for me. You saying yes to your life, yes to your dreams, yes to your unfolding future.
First they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they fight you, and then you win.
If you need more episodes, you can go to glennlundy.com. If you need some Rise and Grind gear, you can go to glennlundy.com. But most importantly, my prayer for you today is that you will step into that next evolution in your life. What does that look like for you? Everyone is different. We will all evolve at different rates and in different directions, but please don't miss this. You, my friend, are a child of God. There's a lot of implications that come with that. You have abilities far beyond your wildest imagination. You matter. Your life matters. The decisions that you make every single day matter. So I want you to go out there and be the absolute best version of yourself that you can possibly be. Because when you do, it makes an impact on your friends, on your family members, on your coworkers. You've already made a massive impact on me. And I, for one, absolutely love you for it. I do. I absolutely stinking love you. Have a tremendous day. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. We're going to do this all over again at 5:30 a.m. on hashtag Rise and Grind.
Stay woke, stay woke, stay woke, stay woke. Hashtag Rise and Grind. Hashtag Rise and Grind.